So let us deal with some what do you call that, word problems as such. Okay, here you have to construct the LPP and solve it. Okay. Construct the, instead of construct you can say form also. Form the linear programming problem. Programming problem. Okay, so let us start with the first one. I'll dictate the thing, you'll write down now. Okay, ready? So, there's a company given here, GJ Breweries. Okay, GJ Breweries has two bottling plants. Bottling plants means where they fill cold drink in the bottles. So cold drink is manufactured and filled. There was a bottling plant over there on that junction. That Pepsi factory is there, no? But I think so that place has been shifted. It's just been used as a godown right now. Okay. So, anyways, they have two bottling plants. Uh, the first one is located at G, and the second one is located at J. Okay. So each plant, first plant is located at G, second plant is located at J. Okay. So each plant produces, what is this? Okay, they produces three alcoholic beverages, that is given as whiskey, beer. What is the third one? Oh wait, I read the question wrong. Huh? They produce three drinks: whiskey, beer. Cancel this word alcoholic. They produce three beverages: whiskey, beer, and fruit juices. Okay. Why is an alcohol company making fruit juices? I don't know. But anyways. Okay. So the number of bottles produced per day are as follows. Okay. The number of bottles produced each day are as follows. Okay. There is a table given now. One is whiskey, or the other one beer and fruit juice. So plant G and plant J. Okay. This one produces 1500. This one produces 3000. This is 2000. Okay, so now this is the all data. So after this write down, a market survey indicates that, okay, a market survey indicates that in the month of April there will be a demand of 20,000 bottles of whiskey. A market survey indicates that during the month of April there will be a demand of 20,000 bottles of whiskey. Okay. What next? 40,000 bottles of beer and 44,000 bottles of fruit juices. Okay. Done. So now it is known that, right on, it is known that the operating cost of plant G and J is 600 and 400 monetary units they have set up. So means whatever currency they are using. Okay, so 600 and 400 monetary units respectively. So this will be 600. It doesn't look like 600 rupees. It will be like 600,000 rupees or something. So 6 lakh rupees per day, and this will be 4 lakh rupees per day. Okay, so 600,000 and 400,000 monetary units, somewhat like that it is. Okay, so if they're talking in dollars, then maybe this is dollars only. Dollars, it makes sense, this number. Okay, for how many days each plant? Yeah, write down. So the main question now is, how many days each plant, how many days should each plant operate, run or operate in April in order to minimize the operating cost and still okay. So now the thing is that we have to find out how many days should the plants be run in order to minimize the operating cost. Okay, so if you run it for very less days, you won't meet the production value. Okay, you have to meet the demand also. If you run it for too many days, you will have excess stock of beverages with you, and you will have to pay people salary also for working extra days. Okay, so you have to find one proper number for which this number of days for which this company has to run. Okay. So Let us now try to formulate this problem. Okay. So what are the variables here? What are the variables which we have in our head? The demand is fixed, right? It's already told to you that 40,000 bottles of beer is required, 20,000 bottles of whiskey, 40,000 of bottles of beer, and 44,000 of bottles of fruit juices are required. Demand is clear to you, right? That is fixed. Production is also fixed. If you are operating the plant on one day, you will it is just taken. You're supposed to take it for granted that you will get 1,500 bottles of whiskey from one plant and 1,500 bottles of whiskey from the other plant. So like this, production has been fixed. There's nothing to do with that. Okay. So production is also fixed. Okay, how much can be produced? What can be varied over here? What will be the variables? What is the question? How many days each plant should be run in April, right? So the number of days which the plant has to run, that is a variable, right? We can adjust only that quantity. We cannot adjust the production, we cannot adjust the demand, right? What we can adjust is the number of days we can operate the company and give holiday on the remaining days, right? Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, so let us write down solution. Let x1 be the number of days plant G operates okay, x to be the number of days which plant G operate. Okay, clear about this, how I got this? So now once we have the variables in hand, what is the thing what we have to maximize or minimize? We are given some minimization problem in this case. You have to minimize the production cost, right? How will you calculate the production cost now? How will you calculate the production cost? We know for one day, plant G requires 600 rupees and plant B requires 400 rupees or 4 lakh rupees, whatever that number is, right? One plant requires 600 rupees, another plant requires 400 rupees, right? So if the plants run for x1 and x2 days respectively, what will be the total production cost? If the first plant runs for x1 days, and second plant runs for x2 days, what will be the total production cost? What is it? 1,000. What you're telling me is that 1,000 rupees is going to be what? If both the plants are operating on the same day, no? I don't have to operate both the plants, no? I can operate one plant and give a holiday for the second plant. I can do that, no? x1 and x2 are both variables. They need not be same. If I keep them same, then what your answer is correct, right? So what should it be? For one day it is 1,000, that is okay. But if I am operating for x1 days, how many will it be? Okay, let's look at them one at a time. If plant G operates for one day, how much it costs? 600 rupees, right? Okay, if it operates for 2 days, it will become 600 into 2. So if it operates for x1 days, how much will it become? 600 into x1. Okay. Now the same thing now on the other one. If plant J operates for one day, it is 400 rupees. 2 days, 800. For x2, if it operates for x2 number of days, it will become 400 plus, 400 into x2. So total will be how much of both the plants? 600 x1 plus 400 x2. Okay. So write down now, production cost is is equal to 600 x1 plus 400 x2. Okay, so now let us form the question. Now we have been told to minimize z is equal to 600 x1, minimize production cost, that's what they have told us, right? So minimize problem, this is okay. Next, now next is the other thing will be is production cost is this, right? So the next thing what we know is the amounts of bottles which are going to be produced, right? So now let us look at beer alone. We'll keep this aside. Let's look at beer alone. Okay. So in one day, we start with whiskey. So in one day, plant G produces 1,500 bottles of whiskey, right? And plant J produces again 1,500 only bottles of whiskey, right? So if plant G operates for x1 number of days, right? If plant G operates for x1 number of days, in one day it can produce 1,500, right? So in x1 days, how many will it produce? 1,500 into x1, right? And this one will also be 1,500 into x2, right? Total production will be how much? This will be addition, right? So this is total whiskey production. Okay, so if you operate the first plant for x1 number of days, you can produce 1,500 to x1 number of bottles, and if you operate the second plant for x2 days, you get 1,500 into x2 bottles. So total will be how much? You will get 1,500 x1 plus 1,500 x2, right? This is going to be the total production in April, right? So now, but you have something called demand also over there, right? How much demand do you have? Demand of 20,000 bottles. So what should happen? Your production should be more than the demand. Okay, it should not be less than that. Actually, if you can make it equal, it's the best case scenario, but it will not actually become equal if you go to see, because 1,500 does not divide 20,000, right? So you won't get equal, so the production will become more actually. But anyways, always keep in mind the demand should be more than the production should be more than the demand. There will be many similar problems after some time of demand and production. So always keep in mind demand should be more than the production, right? So this should be more than 20,000. So we got another equation here. So this is going to be a constraint. Clear? So now can you directly write down the constraint for beer without writing so much? What will it be? 3,000 x1 plus 1,000 x2 should be greater than 40,000. Okay. Next, for fruit juices, it should become 2,000 x1 plus should be greater than 44,000. Okay, clear? This is the demand now. Right there, production should always be more than the demand, greater equal to. If not production, the word will be over the supply. So if not production, some way later on they might use supply code. Okay. Okay. So are we done? No. We also have some constraints that the number of days which the company operates, okay, should be greater than equal to 0. It cannot be a negative number. Okay. So number of days for which a company operates has to be greater than equal to 0. So let us now write down the problem formally. Just writing now. No need to write this twice. For the subsequent problems, just write it once. Now since I have written lots of explanation, I am writing it twice. Okay. What is the question? Minimize z is equal to 600 x1 plus 400 x2 subject to 1500 x1 plus 1500 x2. This is greater than or equal to 20. $40,000, and then last one is going to become $2,000. Okay, so this is the question. Now they are expecting us to draw and find the solution of this sum, but it will not be so easy because the numbers are very big for us. Even after cancelling, they won't come small. Then cancel the thousands here. This you can write it as 3. Wait, I'm just seeing. This will be 3 less than 4. This will be I divided by, what do you call that, 500 away on all 3 sides. Okay, or it will be 40. Okay, so this will become 3 1 3 1 again 40. Sorry, this is 20. This is 20. And this is going to become 2 5. This will be very difficult for us to draw. The scale is very huge. Okay, so we won't draw this. If time permits, in the next class I'll show you the graph on this thing online. That will be easier to draw because they can extend the scale to whatever they want. Okay, so we'll try to see the solution of this in the next class online. Just leave some 4-5 lines. Okay, there are some software which can plot these lines on. Okay, so we use that to do this. Oh, I should have not deleted this. Okay, I'll keep this. Okay, so let's move on to another problem. For this problem, no, I'm saying the scale is going to be too big. No, you would have to divide by 40, 44 and all. It will be very difficult over here. Means that picture will come tiny, the lines will become huge. So the common region will be very tiny. So it's pointless for us to draw. We will do it online and then we'll zoom in. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's go to another problem. Question number 2. Okay, so I'll write this down. The standard weight of a special brick is 5 kg. It contains 2 basic ingredients B1 and B2. Okay, it consists of 2 basic ingredients B1 and B2. B1 costs the ingredient B1 costs 5 rupees per kg and B2 costs B2 costs rupees 8 per kg. Okay. So for example, to make this bricks which come now, the cement bricks you might have seen now, right? They require some special grade sand and like fine sand they use, and they use some cement. Okay, so maybe they're talking of those 2 ingredients, or maybe something else also. Okay. So cement and sand you can say, yeah. So for okay, for the brick to have a proper strength considerations, that means the brick should have certain strength. Okay, we need to use not we the brick strength considerations dictate the brick require, requires that the brick uses no more than 4 kg of B1 and minimum okay. So basically what is the thing here is, if you put one ingredient more than 4 kg, the brick might become weak in quality. Okay, like for example, if you put more sand and cement, okay, they don't become strong enough, they become very weak. Okay. On the other side, you have to use minimum 2 kgs of the ingredient B2. Okay, so maybe the ingredient B2 is the cement. So minimum 2 kg of cement has to be used. If you use less than that, the brick becomes weak. Okay, it will not be able to resist a drop or weather or some other problem. Okay. Okay. Find the minimum cost of each brick. Satisfying. Find the minimum cost of each brick satisfying the above constraint. Constraints, huh? Plural. Okay, so now read the question. So read the question one more time. I'll read it from here also. The standard weight of a special purpose brick is 5 kg and it consists of two basic ingredients B1 and B2. B1 costs rupees 5 per kg and B2 costs rupees 8 per kg. Okay. Strength considerations require that the brick uses no more than 4 kg of B1 and minimum 2 kg of B2. Okay. Find the minimum cost of each brick satisfying the above considerations or constraints. So what is the variable we have at hand here? They have not told us anything about how much demand is there and how much production is there. So demand and production cannot be variables now. Okay. What can be varied in this problem? Yeah. So what we can vary over is the amount of ingredients we are using. Okay. So either we use more sand and less cement because sand costs less money than cement, right? You can see ingredient B1 costs 5 rupees per kg and ingredient B2 costs rupees 8 per kg, right? So if I use more of B1, right, I'll be having more profit, right? But there are other conditions here that you should use minimum 2 kg of B2, right? And you should not use more than 4 kilos of B1. Okay. Okay. So the varying variables are let's move on. Solution. Let a brick be produced. Let a big brick be produced using X1 kgs of B1 and X2 kgs of Okay. Now what will be the cost of making each brick? What will be the cost of making each brick now? We have been told that x1 costs 5 rupees a kilo and x2 costs 8 rupees a kilo. So if you are using x1 kilos of B1, how much will you have to pay? 5 into x1. And if you are using x2 kilos of B2, you will have to use 8 into x2. Okay, so cost of a brick is going to be 5x1 plus 8x2. Correct, no? Yeah. So cost will be this much. Now, this is done. What is the weight of a brick? What is the weight of the brick? It is equal to 5 kilos, right? But how do you get this 5 kilo brick, by the way? How do you get the 5 kilo brick? By using x1 kilos of B1 and x2 kilos of B2, right? So what do we have? We have one constraint over here now. Okay, so we got one constraint here. Next, what I've been told is we have to use the ingredient x1 not more than 4 kilos, right? So the ingredient B1 should not be more than 4 kilos, right? So x1 has to be less than 1 second, what happened? So we are told that we should not use more than 4 kilos of x1, and we are also told that x2 has to be used minimum 2 kilos, right? So this is the other constraint I have. Okay, so and finally we know that x1 and x2 both have to be greater than 0 because they are corresponding to the weight of some product, right? Weight cannot be negative, kgs cannot be negative. X1, x2 are greater than equal to 0. Okay, clear? So understood how I got all the three constraints? Okay, so let us write down the problem formally now. So what I have to do, I have to minimize z is equal to subject to the constraints that x1 plus x2, and then we have not less than equal to, it should be exactly equal to 5, right? Sum of both the ingredients should be 5 kilos. Then 4x1 4x1. Oh, sorry, x1 should be less than 4. And here we should get x2 is greater than equal to 2. Okay, with the given the conditions x1, x2 are greater equal to 0. Okay, we'll try to do this fast on. There are only like some 3-4 minutes remaining. This one we can solve easily because the numbers are small. Okay. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second one is x1 is less than 4. Third one is x2 is greater than 2. Great. It is greater than 2, right? Minimum 2 kgs of it. So it should be this side. The other one is less than 4. Okay. And third one is equal to 5. So equal to 5 means what now? All the points where it's going to be equal to 5. Okay. Okay, so basically all the points which are on the green line, they qualify. Okay. So the common region is only this green line, huh? Okay, because it does not have points below the green line and all now. So only the green line as such is your common region. Okay. Yeah, so let us just complete this picture. What will be the coordinates of A? 0, 2. Coordinates of B. We can easily calculate the coordinates of B as 3, 2. And this is going to become equal to 0, 5. Okay. What is the value of Z? 5x1 plus 8x2, right? that is 5x1 plus 8x2. So that is 16 here. B is going to be 3, 2. 5 plus 8. So 15 plus 16 is going to be equal to 31. Yeah, so what is the 5x1 plus 8x2? So this is going to become 40. Okay, so which is going to be the least value? Sorry, this A is not a point. Sorry. We don't actually have a region this time because we have to only consider the points which are on the line, right? So this A is not a point. Just cancel it out. What is wrong with A, by the way? A is telling you use 0 kilos of B1 and use 2 kilos of B2. Can you get a 5 kilo brick using that? No, right? So all the solution points have to be on this green line only. Okay. So yeah. So amongst the other 2 points which we have there then, so this point gets disqualified. Okay. So amongst the other points which we have, the lowest cost is Z is equal to 31. Okay. That's the lowest. Operation of the brick. Of the brick is 31 rupees. Okay, made using sorry 3 kg of okay of B2. Clear? Okay, so we'll stop with this. In the next class we'll continue with more problems.